All right, good morning. Happy Monday, everyone. Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and we have your weekly dose of the Monday Market Report video, this time for the week ending August 20th, 2023. Thank you guys for tuning in on everybody's weekly favorite. All right, so we got some sales to talk about, all coming from greatcollections.com this time around. And I'm introducing a new theme for this one. All right, and as you guys probably already seen on the thumbnail, yeah, I mean, cherry picking is a staple among some of these folks that actually make a living grading and flipping these coins. We have a number of coins that we're going to talk about today that were the case. These were coins that at some point were identified through collections, through coin shops and shows and all that great stuff. And usually they're going to be purchased for a really low amount of money, and then they are going to be sent to the grading companies, and then they're going to be flipped. And most importantly, the biggest aspect to it all is going to be eye appeal. Eye appeal just ultimately wins the day when we're doing this. I've had just a ton of success doing it myself, and it's a lot of fun. And again, it's a great way to not only enhance your grading skills, but also to make some of that extra money that normally wouldn't make itself apparent just by doing anything else, right? You could pretty much scrap the idea of grabbing a part-time job for the holidays when you could just simply do some of the things that other folks are implementing. So I'm glad to talk a little bit about that as well. Now, just to kind of recap, we talk about all of the relevant post-1900 modern graded coins sold here this week. We do have a couple really banging coins. Lincoln Cents finally taken a little bit of a week off after just multiple high-performance weeks. But I mean, there's still Lincoln Cents. But we're seeing some pretty big standouts from dimes and quarters as well. So you certainly don't want to miss that. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all the views and support. And as always, enjoy the hobby. Keep on collecting, my friends. All right, so we're going to jump into here. These are all sales that wrapped up as of yesterday on greatcollections.com. Their sales end every Sunday night. And we already talked about one of the big sales in that 2023 Peace Dollar with they call it the Director Strike Edition with the signed congratulations card. Ended up closing well above $5,000, and then with the buyer's premium, it ended up being over $6,000. So congratulations to both the buyer and seller. What a phenomenal sale there. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have here this week. I had done a quick little short video on this coin, if you guys missed it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a crazy world in numismatics when something like this ends up selling for a tremendous premium. But it's a 2022 Denver Lincoln Shield cent coming in hot right here. The pop on this coin, I believe, is 9 in a 68 red. And that's the top grade. So there's a number of examples already out there that have firmly taken a seat in the registry set world, and you're going to see more of the registry set coins definitely making an impact here this week. But we have to kick things off with this coin. Kind of crazy because it ended up selling for $3,262.50. Again, $3,200 for a coin that's barely 1 year old. I just want you guys to let that sink in a little bit. Again, tread lightly. If you're kind of blinded by some of these sky high price tags that these coins are fetching from just the last few years, I want you guys to take into consideration the mintage of the coins and how many actually exist at this top pop grade. It is not an easy feat. People have tried and people have cried and ultimately some of them probably died too. They died inside because they just weren't able to gain the top pop. And you know, with these registry set coins, keep in mind that there's generally no safety net. So it's either 68 or bust. You know, if you had a 67 come back, good luck trying to get enough money to cover your submission costs. And that's kind of like the tale of two extremes there. The next one that we have here, again, another registry set coin, although there are more examples of a 2014 Philadelphia Lincoln Shield cent in 68 red. This is a coin that's been graded up and down for the better part of the last 8-9 years. So there is certainly enough of these to fulfill demand, but there's always going to be more registry sets, more people beginning this activity, and as a result, more people looking for the individual coins. So this particular example ended up hammering last night for $1,743.75. All right, now we're getting into a little bit more classical dates here. 1951. Another one of those marquee Philadelphia 1950s coins that generally come up short in the quality department. So if you did find one that is undeniably clean, like this one here, you might have a real shot at one of the top grades. So this is a 67 red through PCGS on this one. You can see that the coin is, for the most part, a very gem plus example, probably more choice gem than anything else. And this is going to fit real nicely into a registry set home. So this one sold for $1,046.25. 48S, again, not a particularly tough date to find in grades above 65. San Francisco minted Lincoln wheat cents during the 40s and 50s. Can be had inexpensively if you're going out buying them raw. All right, so where things kind of like drill down here is going to be the minutia, the details of the coins, like those empty fields all around the devices really count to the graders. You want to make sure that there's either a microscopic pinpoint contact mark or none at all. And that's ultimately where you're going to get the best odds. And of course, the details matter too. You don't want large gashes on these. So San Francisco coins generally better quality than the Philadelphia and Denver brethren. And this particular one right here in the 67 plus red, and it's also CAC green bean as well. This one sold for $1,407.38. So as you can see, there are 68s of this coin. This is a bit of a safety net here, although not too big of a safety net. You have to get that half grade in order for it to be meaningful. 36, Philadelphia. Again, another clean example, and kind of like an example of a coin that you can find, because Philadelphia minted coins in the 20s and 30s were actually pretty decent looking. This one right here is a PCGS Mid-State 67 plus full red. It's also got the CAC green bean in there. Again, another great addition to a registry set. This one ended up selling for $1,783.12. 1934, again, another premium Philadelphia minted coin. This time, this is a Mid-State 68 red. A really nice gem choice coin. The likelihood that you could find one of these really easily is pretty low, only because the actual original sources for such coins, like BU rolls and things like that, are just about extinct at this point. A lot of the original material out there has either been searched through or have been broken apart and sent to the bank, unfortunately. So, again, this is a coin right here that isn't anything that you could find fresh in the marketplace. If you did come across an original BU roll that's been unopened, that's going to be your best shot here. This one sold for $4,950. Again, another premium coin, and again, another staple for a high-end registry. 23S. This is talk about a tough date coming from a decade where quality was just straight up garbage across the board. Again, Philadelphia minted coins tend to be a little bit better. You know, I've seen 25s, 26s, and up from there. Philadelphia minted coins look really good, you know, kind of similar to what you would find in the 30s. So 23S is an anomaly for sure, along with other Denver and San Francisco minted coins of the 20s, where generally they were never preserved. They were used and abused all throughout the Roaring 20s and into the Great Depression years. So finding one at all in mint-state condition is going to be the sparkling gem here. This one is a old green-holdered MS64 red-brown through PCGS. Good looking kind of surfaces. It's got that improper alloy mix wood graining to it, which is quite attractive. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, sold for $2,844. And if a coin of this caliber, that's not even a full red, it's not even a 65 or 66, ends up selling for $2,800, you can only imagine how much the more premium full red examples would go for today. All right, well, that covers all of the Lincoln cents. As you can see, there wasn't anything, you know, splashy. There wasn't any $10,000 plus coins to speak about. There was quite a few $1,000 and over in the price range there. But now we're on to nickels, starting out with a 1982p, you know, kicking things off here. This one actually performed as well as the 2022 Shield that we saw at the very onset of this MMR. This one is a mid-state 67 with full steps. Again, you know, the Jefferson nickel full steps registry is quite demanding. It's very strong, and there are a number of people that are constantly looking for the upgrades. Here's one of them right here. A semi-tough date, as you know, these coins suffered mightily from some of the finer minutia. Some of the, you know, the planchet nicks and other things, the original planchets were not the best. So when they did strike up actual finished product, you could still see the nicks in there. Full steps, it looks like it, you know. It's got to have at least 5 full steps out of the 6 to qualify. And this one sold for $3,712.50. 1966, you know, the 60s are rife with tough dates to find with full steps. As you guys know, they made both business strike and special mint set coins for this date, all right, which is important because those SMS coins look eerily similar to a business strike. They just have a little bit more of a satiny finish, and they have the more chiseled cut edges. And, you know, some people do get tripped up on those and the difference of those two. This is a business strike Unk coin. Again, none of these were ever really preserved. BU rolls are very scarce today. And you could end up paying as high as $40, $50 a roll if you did come across them. NGC, actually, the host on this one for grades, is a mid-state 66 with 5 full steps this time around. And this one sold for $2,431.90. Same for the 64D, although the quality is comparatively a little bit less compared to the 66. This one actually is a 68 with 5 full steps. I think because of the luster and how it's presented on this coin, it's quite strong. And, you know, the pictures, I would assume, doesn't do this coin a whole lot of justice, to be honest. NGC gave this one a 68 with 5 full steps, and it sold for $1,760.62. 51S. Ooh, man, this is a great coin right here, and we don't see too many 51Ss with full steps come out to the marketplace. Once you get beyond that 1950 threshold of dates, things kind of go by the wayside here. You know, the strike was kind of faltering at this point, and, you know, we begin to see that, you know, going in deep into the 50s. 51S certainly was kind of like the open gate to just bad quality. This one right here, good to see a PCGS mid-state 67 with full steps Very clean example. One of the better pieces with full cartwheel luster all throughout. And this one right here, ladies and gentlemen, sold for $4,786.88. Again, another big staple for Jefferson sets. 44D, it's always pleasant to see some really nice quality Silver War nickels. Silver War nickels, generally, they exist in great numbers out there. If you're looking for a mid-state example, you're going to be spending about $8 to $10 per coin, if not more. Again, eye appeal and the sharpness of those steps is going to be some determining factors in how much you'll pay. I've seen raw coins sell for as much as $100 if it's very well struck. This one right here, PCGS Mid-State 68 with full steps, showcases also a nice kind of ring effect of just pastel-y yellow toning on there. I would say that this one probably was like in an older generation Dansko album. Usually those albums tend to tone nickels with that kind of like that yellow ring that you see here on this one. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, sold for $3,712.50. And that is a great amount of money. These things will have just a strong market for years to come. We do have a trio of Buffalo nickels. The Buffalo nickels have migrated into the sales category here this week. Otherwise, it's been actually kind of quiet for Buffalo nickels here just in the last month. We have a couple powerhouses to talk about. Here's the 37S. It's not going to splash you with its date. Don't let the mint mark fool you. This is a very available coin to find raw and in mid-state condition. The only differentiator here is, can you cherry pick one? Again, we're getting into the cherry picking conversation of finding a coin that you could pay $50 to $100 for that exhibits some of this old kind of like just pastel-y album toning color, which is where I assume this one comes from, because I have seen many collections stored in these albums from the 70s and 80s that tone these just really pretty. 67 plus, okay, kind of account a little bit of the eye appeal factor, giving this one a grade bump. CAC green bean as well, and this one sold, get this, for $6,386.62. Again, this is a coin that you could find, at a coin show or a shop. If the dealer doesn't care too much about the grading component of it, and they're simply pricing these at just book value, what they see in a magazine or in a red book, then that's going to be a huge rip for anyone that recognizes some of these nice toners. So keep that in mind. There's more of this talk to continue. Here's a 34D. Now, it comes from the 30s, but I'm going to say and go out on a limb and say that this is probably one of the more difficult coins to find in this high mid-state grade. Dare I say it, probably beating out the 31S. And that one is the second lowest mintage of any Buffalo nickel within the series. I think people realize the 31S was such a low mintage date even back in the day that a lot of them were hoarded in nice shape. So this is a 66 plus, very tough date and grade combination. A little bit of machine doubling there onto Buffalo's face, in case you guys are wondering. That's what that is. And this one sold for a staggering sum of $16,934.62. Just that price tag alone associated with this date, lets you guys know that this is a coin that just doesn't show up in the marketplace. And here's also a 1913D. This is a Type 1 Buffalo, which has black diamond on a raised mound. And this example showcases, again, some of that really pretty toning. I could see, in the perfect world, this thing being cherry-picked at a dealer or a coin shop, or maybe I have a personal collection, for around $150 to $200, okay? And again, the toning is what really gives this one the extra eye appeal. It gives it the extra grade point bump. This one, in this case, is a 67 plus, a real stunner. This one is a lot more available than the Type 2 which showcases the buffalo on a flat mound as opposed to the raised one. So again, the possibilities are endless here. If you go to enough shows, you'll actually see what I mean when people are just, they are having their way with the availability of some of this original stock that currently sits not only at coin shops, but shows, and also local collections that have been untouched and unlooked at by any coin dealer or professional's eyes. So this one right here sold for $4,486.50. It is not a top pop grade, all right, importantly. Dimes. I could say the dimes that we have here today, consider these all cherry picks, okay? And toning has always been one of those very divisive kind of topics of conversation. You either love it or you hate it. Some people, the old school folks who don't like it, they still call it by tarnish. It's like it's tarnish. I just want to throw it in jewelry cleaner and get rid of that stuff. But the amount of history, the amount of skin that you're destroying off of these original coins is ultimately what's going to make the coins suffer in the long term. The collector base is now. They care about artistic rendering. They care about the overall appeal and the luxury of these colorful coins. You might as well take advantage of that. Send it off to a grader, get it back, sell it online. All right, and that's how you're going to push a lot of these coins, and that's how you're going to make a boatload of money. 1960, right? Very common date. There are BU rolls of these all over the place. If you needed one for about 200, let's see, a BU roll of 60s Roosevelt dimes, 90% silver, I think goes for about 125 today. Sorry, I was thinking about quarters. But that just, put that into perspective. You're like, that's how common they are. They're not splashy, they're not expensive, but when you do come across one that looks like this, that was probably a roll ender with a lot of like mossy green and little hints of pink. My goodness, what a pretty coin. 67 plus full bands on this one, and it sold for $1,046.31. 95% of that has everything to do with the color. And by far my favorite coin on today's list. It's this blue. Blues and greens, really captivates me in the toning market. And it does a lot of other people as well. Two of the toughest natural color progressions out of the scale. And we have one that is double-sided, fully featured on this 52S. A tough day, might I add. Mid-State 68 with full torch on here, NGC graded, and this one sold for $1,406.25. I own a number of really, really pristine toned Roosevelt dimes, although not everyone's favorite cup of tea in terms of series. You can find some stunners still at an affordable rate. If this was on a Morgan dollar, the same color, that's probably a $10,000 coin. So just for comparison, there is still a lot to love here, and affordability is another thing. Here's the 48S. Again, not my favorite toning. This is more archival skin than anything else. NGC graded this one as a Mid-State 68 plus, full torch, and it's fully toned on both sides. This one sold for $1,576.12. I think probably the grade is what really pushed this one at this price level. Pretty easy to see why this one's on the list. Again, it's not a date that's going to kick your teeth in if you're looking for one at a show raw. Again, it's identifying that original color. And this one has like just a gravy train of various colors in the progression. This thing is all rainbowed out, and it is probably a top tier level toner. This one right here, graded PCGS Mid-State 68 plus, full bands, which is really tough on any San Francisco minted coin of the 40s, and the toning. This one ended up selling for a wild price, $19,125. Consider this a coin that probably could have been cherry picked for under $100. And you're talking probably one of the biggest flips in history right here. So well done to both parties. This is just a stunner. And here's also just a regular basic 1943. And it does have the crusty model toning on this one. Again, you either love it or hate it. I know the previous coin is more of a love thing than this one is. It's a mid-state 68, full bands through PCGS, and this one sold for $4,612.50. All right, so we're on to a few quarters, and then we have another big one to end things off here this week. We have a 1979 Washington quarter. Nice steel, blue, gray color on this one. Looks like it came out of a mint set, to be honest. It's a very clean example, too. NGC Mid-State 68 Plus, and this one sold for $2,822.62. Again, more registry set here. Now we're on to more artistic stuff, honestly, that you could cherry pick. Again, we're talking a 62D here, folks. Honestly, you can find this for about 25 bucks, you know? That's kind of like the basis of my thumbnail. This is a coin that you could find, and someone probably put a few dollars extra premium on it because of the toning. But again, the overall sentiment from the dealer side is like, well, it's toned. It's not my cup of tea. I'm just going to throw it out there, raw for, however much it's worth based on, gray sheet or book value. So this one right here, again, it's all toning all the way. Beautiful obverse. 67 plus through PCGS, and it sold for $5,140.12. 56, again, toning, common date. Not going to blow you away by the rarity. The toning is ultimately the big prize here. PCGS graded it a 68. So the grade certainly does also push this one into a completely different realm. $4,337.99 final sale. Here's a nice, just early classic obsolete piece here. 1921. Wow, what a great looking coin. Nice blast white. A coin that, you can't find too many of them with a nice full strike. Full heads are very scarce, if non-existent here. PCGS Mid-State 67, just an overall clean coin with very little distracting of anything. And this is a $12,937.50 sale. The final coin we're going to talk about, nice cherry pick here. 1976 dual date bicentennial Ike dollar. It's got this really wild kind of like mossy green toning. I've come across some of these in mint sets before. This is a business strike coin, but a very high graded specimen at a mid-state 67 plus, and it's the type 2 reverse. So it's got the skinny letters of US of A. The block letters are the more scarce type 1s. So if you did come across a type 1 that grades as 67 plus, the price tag jumps up quite a bit. But this one, no slouch. The toning really adds a huge premium here at a $8,780.62 sale. Nearly $9,000 for an Ike dollar. This series is alive and well today. So make sure you're looking out for some of these. But that's it. A few little last words here. The video is for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to go out and do this, do that. Collect responsibly, grade responsibly. Don't be blinded by all the big price tags here. The market is the market. There are professionals that do this on a weekly basis, and they do it very well. So keep that in mind. But that's going to go ahead and wrap things up for the week on this edition of the Monday Market Report. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to today's content and the channel if you haven't done so already, and I would greatly appreciate it. So that's going to go ahead and do it. You guys take care. Have a great week. Have a wonderful Monday, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.